Top of the morning to you, top of the night, whatever the case may be. My name's Ben Matthews. I am who I say I am. The world government ain't trust me on that. I know these things. You know, I made a video on, I wasn't addressing it at any certain person. Alright? It's just trying to make a point. It don't matter where you go, what you do. They're monitoring you. Hell, a lot of you's got paid today. You got your paycheck. The government knows how much money you made before you know how much money you made. Before they can get their cut already. Filling up your gas tank, they know how much gas you put in your car. Stop at a store on the way home, grab yourself a 12-pack of beer. Why not? You worked hard for it. It's your business. Grab yourself a pack of cigarettes, some corn chips. Now they know you drink. Now they know you smoke. And now they know you eat corn. So that data going to the Utah database to be sorted out, and maybe they'll come to for your Obamacare and they'll say, "Oh, you're a smoker? Oh, how you know that?" "No, I don't smoke." Yeah, you know, you purchased some cigarettes. Here's the credit card receipt. You're also a drinker and you eat corn. See, they know everything about you already. Smart meters on the side of your house. You get home, you open up that refrigerator and put that 12-pack of beer in there, and you grab yourself one, you sit down, you crack open that beer, and you turn on the TV. They already know. Now that they know what you're watching, and they already know that you're having a beer. You get done with that beer, you get up, get yourself another one. They know you opened up that door with that smart meter. Got done watching your television programs, decided to go take a shower. They know you took a shower. Decided to take a dump. They already know you took a dump. Decided to do some laundry. They already know that you're doing some laundry. Now you decide to get on the computer and go to YouTube and watch Ben TimeTraveler's video. Now they know you watched my video. Now you're tired. Worked hard all week. You unwind, you had a couple beers. Turn off the computer. Turn off your light. And you go to bed. Now they know you went to sleep. And you'll get up tomorrow and you do the exact same thing. And they'll know exactly everything you're doing. So why were you upset about what's going on between YouTube and Google? You already know Google's the government. You see the barges they're building. There's a reason they're building the barges. Of course, it's to move these barges around for they can display their Google glasses. Okay. They're special because they're the government. And they can do what they want. Because them permits are being pencil whipped. For one, if you're anything close to being an investigative reporter, you would notice the windows on these barges are not coded for business. I know a little bit about architect, trust me. They're coded for prison or jail. Now if you look at the modern jails and modern prison and look at these windows and then look at the prison windows and jail windows, you'll see they look the same. Now if it was a business, the windows wouldn't be that small. They'd be larger. And there's a lot of other things about the barges I'll point out later in another video, but I just wanted to mention that. Sometimes I get talking and things come into the head and they come out. They don't always come out in order. I'm going to try my best. You know, let's start at the beginning. I mean, you want to do some investigating reporting with me right now? You want to uncover some truth, some reality, some facts, not something that somebody's making up. Somebody's trying to feed you for you will come to their channel and you'll watch their video because they got a commercial on there and they'll make some money. And then they won't give a shit about you because they're part of that pyramid making money now. Or you want to listen to somebody that wants to tell you the truth. And don't care one way or another if you subscribe to his channel, you thumb it up, thumb it down. Don't matter none to me. As long as your eyes are open and your ears are open. That's all that matters. You know, when people read the teaching of Jesus, I don't think they always get the true teaching of what Jesus is saying. For instance, you read the Bible and you read Jesus made a blind man see. He made a deaf man hear. And that's what you take it as. That's how you what you're reading, that's what you take it as. You're not reading what Jesus was teaching. See, they weren't physically blind and physically deaf. They could see and hear, but they couldn't see and hear the truth. So Jesus opened his eyes, the blind man's eyes, to the truth. The deaf man could hear the truth. That was the teaching. A lot of you don't see it that way. You think Jesus walked up to some blind guy that couldn't see physically and touched him, and the guy was no longer bumping into walls. That's not the teaching. But I don't come on here to try pushing my religion or my belief about God on anybody, or have I ever. I stand with God and God's army. That's the extent of it. I don't try pushing religion on nobody. You follow me on my YouTube channel. I really don't try pushing religion on you, and I'm not going to start now. I respect you, and I don't cuss, I don't swear. I try to be respectful, as I like to be treated. Some days I have my moments when I just want to tell people to shut up. Sit down, I ain't done with you yet. Let's do some investigating reporting, shall we? I think together we might be able to come up with something tonight. Let's start at the beginning. You have the countries all throughout the world agreeing to spray chemicals, chemtrails. It's a global event. We all know that. How can you get all the countries together to agree on such a thing? They can't agree on nothing. But you expect Russia and China, India, and all these other countries to agree to spray these chemicals? And it must be a real serious reason. Global warming? Nah, I don't think so. Why else would they do it, Benny? Well, think about it. I already made videos explaining it. Earth's magnetic field. The core's getting weaker. Meteors. Let's do some more investigating. But that's the point at hand. How serious that is to get every country in the world to come together and agree to spray these chemicals. You know how difficult that is. The task it took to get that accomplished without you even knowing about it, because it's a secret. And that's where this The first thing the government tells you to lie. Second thing the government tells you to lie to cover up the first lie comes at. Because Alex Jones came out and they had a documentary on his YouTube channel. What in the world are they spraying on us? And I did the research and find out that was a government-made video, by the way. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? Well, you do now. And when I seen that, I said no, because the first thing the government tells me is a lie. So I started looking in the opposite direction from what they're telling me. Same thing was when they shot that spy satellite off in space. When they said it was a spy satellite, you mean to go tell me you're going to tell your enemies you just shot off a spy satellite in space? You're going to go tell them that? No, it was a lie. So I looked in the opposite direction for that story and found out it was a laser weapon. See, I mean, it's a serious issue when you think about all the countries in the world coming together as one to spray these chemicals. I mean, it's just mind-boggling that they accomplished that. It really is. Now, we got the power grid coming up. Power Grid X drill. I want to go back a little farther than the power grid drill. Alright, let's go back farther. I posted a video. Russian troops training with FEMA. And I showed you on the video. You can go back and look at it. I do still believe it's up. And you can see the video with the Russian troops getting out of helicopters with weapons, pointing them at American civilians who are invited to watch the drill. They got out of the helicopters and pointed these weapons at the civilians and went on and practiced their drill. It was with FEMA in case of a natural disaster that might take place in Russia. Well, for one, if it's a FEMA drill, where was the water? Where was the medication, the food, the tents, everything that FEMA would need for a disaster? Where was it? None of it was there. Just weapons being pointed and training on United States soil. Now you think if the disaster was going to take place in Russia and you were training them, you would train them in their own country where they're familiar with their surrounding area where the disaster would take place. But they didn't do that. They trained on the streets of America. And let's just say that they were going to train them here in the United States. We have bases of cities and towns designed especially for that training. Why wouldn't they train them there? Because the first thing they told you was a lie. It was a drill with FEMA for a national disaster. So I looked the other way. Because I know it's a lie. They're telling me a lie. I'm not believing it. It's the first thing they told me. Then we come up to the Chinese and Russian and peacekeeping troops in the United States, which is only semi-true. They were here, and some are still here, but most of them are stationed in Canada, Mexico, and now Hawaii. You have the Russians and Chinese in Mexico and in Canada. You have the body bags and FEMA coffins down in the islands. You have FEMA stationed around the Washington, D.C. area with massive medical supplies, food, water, etc., etc. You had a nuclear drill in Ohio with the Indiana National Guard. Now all this training about the power grid X is supposed to be for a so-called EMP attack on America. Well, who would be capable of carrying out such an attack? I can only think of three. The Chinese would be one, the Russians would be two, and the Chinese and Russians together would be three. But wait a minute, that's not possible because we're training with the Chinese and Russians and some other countries. You mean to tell me that you would train, the United States military would train with the Chinese and Russians for such an attack and show them our defense, our secrets of how we would protect ourselves? Don't make sense. That's that first lie they're telling you again. Look the other way. They are stationed around the United States for a peacekeeping assignment in the United States. Well, that's the plan. We're going to go beyond their plan because the truth is just that, the truth. But they agreed to help the United States when the asteroid hits. They'll come in, they'll keep peace and law and order. That's the agreement. But unfortunately, the United States lets its guard down, and the Russians and Chinese break their agreement. And you can imagine what happens after that. All hell breaks loose. Now, if you listen to my video, you listen to this, I didn't tell you the date, but I pretty much tell you the location. The drill, the nuclear drill, was in Ohio with the Indiana National Guard. Put 2 plus 2 together. FEMA stationed around the Washington, D.C. area, right outside that region. The Red Fault Line, the Red Fault, it's right there. The Great Lakes, the Salt Caves, the future map of what the United States would look like. See, they know the date, they know the time, and they know the location. They're preparing for it. And they were hoping that the Chinese and Russians will be an honorable bunch of people. That don't happen. Food, gun, water, ammunition, can't express this amount of medication. More people died from a simple cut, got infected, you had no way of treating the wound. Not going to give you any more details. Not going to do it. If I was to tell you the date that this event would take place, then what's it going to matter anyway? Well, you could save lives. I'm not going to be able to save anybody's lives in this area because nobody's going to listen to me. Nobody. You know, We discussed the Anunnaki before. And I want to ask you something. Remember the symbol, the ball, and that of the winged planet that you see on the pyramids and you see all throughout ancient history? You know what I'm talking about. This pattern right here. This design right here, United States Air Force design. What do you think put it there?